Welcome to another episode of FIFA History. Today we are taking a look at FIFA 23, and this was the last FIFA game that EA produced. This was an end of an era game. You might be surprised to know that this is actually one of my favourite FIFA games. FIFA 23 had features like Ted Lasso, 2 World Cup modes, and some career mode new features. We're going to take a look at everything today. In terms of reviews, this game scored a 7 out of 10 from IGN, 76% from Metacritic, and 8.5 out of 10 from Well Played, 1.9 stars on Google, so it looks like a lot of people did not like this game. If you do enjoy the video, please leave a like for me and make sure you subscribe for more FIFA history videos. Does this bring back the memories? This is the last ever FIFA game, and I'm sure a lot of you guys did play this game because it only came out a couple of years ago. The servers still work for this game, so if you're still playing FIFA 23, you can play online still. This might be the last FIFA game that has the servers open. I guess they won't stay open for much longer. This is your FIFA 23 home menu. We have the kickoff, and then we also have FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022. This was one of the big DLCs. There was actually 2 World Cup DLCs in this game, and that's why it's one of my favorite FIFA games. There's other game modes hidden behind the play mode section. And then we've got the training center, and then we have the customize and also accessibility settings. Customize is where you do all your normal settings, but there's also the soundtrack, so let's take a look at that. I think with this soundtrack, EA brought back some bangers from the past. We had Black and Gold by Sam Sparrow. There was also Call It What You Want, Foster the People. I think they did bring back a lot of the good songs from the history of FIFA. I'll see if I recognize any more of these. I think Kids by MGMT was one of them. Love Me Again by John Newman, of course. FIFA 14, who can forget that one? So yeah, I think EA did go out with a bang when it came to the soundtrack for FIFA 23. The Nights by Avicii was there as well. I think that was like FIFA 15 or FIFA 16. There was also the Volta Music soundtrack, which did feature other artists and different songs as well. Jack Harlow was there. Central C. A few people you might recognize here. I didn't really enjoy this menu, to be honest, too many different layers, but if we go into play modes, we've got Women's World Cup 2023, and that was in Australia and New Zealand. This was like the first time we got an Aussie stadium in the game, so I was pretty pleased about that. Then there was also the World Cup Qatar 2022, quick play modes, pro clubs and Volta football, ultimate team, career mode, and also season mode. If you go into quick play modes, you get to do kickoff, online friendlies, tournaments, skill games, and the practice arena, PlayStation tournaments there. Let's take a look at everyone's favorite mode, the practice arena. This mode was pretty bad, very bland, nothing to do. You could just change your camera angle. You could also practice a free kick if you really wanted to, or you could select sides. We're going to practice a free kick because it's always tradition to practice a free kick when you're in a practice arena. And as you can see, the camera angle EA gives you here does not help you out at all. It doesn't make things any easier. How can you determine where this thing is pointing with this camera angle? It was completely stupid. It made no sense what they did here. Using this camera angle doesn't even help you as well. There's only 2 options here, and they're both pretty bad. Yeah, I'm going to have to say it. The best thing about the FIFA 23 practice arena is hitting the exit button and leaving as soon as possible. So around June or July 2023, EA brought in the Women's World Cup DLC, and it had the normal World Cup tournament mode. It had a My Player mode known as Lead Your Country. It had a Women's World Cup kickoff mode, and also the customized section. Stadium Australia was a new stadium that came in with the DLC, but it got removed for FC 24. But what didn't make sense with this DLC was the fact that EA gave us other stadiums, but they weren't even in Australia or New Zealand, which is where the World Cup was held. Waldstadion is a stadium in Germany. What is it doing in an Australian World Cup DLC? I don't know. This one here is not an Australian stadium. This one here is also not an Australian stadium. Yeah, I wish we didn't lose the Stadium Australia because we don't really get any Aussie stadiums in the game. So let's take a look at the Men's World Cup DLC. Unfortunately, we lose the FIFA World Cup tournament mode and all that, but we do gain the Euros now. This one had FIFA World Cup Live, tournament mode, FIFA World Cup Kickoff, online tournament, and some settings and customization there. There was only 2 stadiums in this tournament DLC, which wasn't very good. It wasn't a good experience when you're missing half the stadiums. We only had the Lusail and also the Al Bayt Stadium. There was some nice match day presentations before the matches started in the World Cup mode. But yeah, say goodbye to this because the next World Cup tournament, if EA ever does it for FC 26, will be a generic mode with unlicensed tournament names and all that kind of stuff. So it's not going to be a good World Cup experience anymore. We'll have to wait for FIFA 2K to come up with something. FIFA 23 was also the first FIFA game to feature a Women's Champions League license. There was one really cool club that got removed in FC 24, AFC Richmond. This is the club that was in Ted Lasso, the TV show. This club did feature all the players from the show. Some did have real faces as well. They did have Nelson Road Stadium, which I believe was the Crystal Palace ground, but sort of rebranded into Richmond colours. Ted Lasso was also scanned for this game, and he's also available in career mode. We're going to take a look at that soon. Let's take a look at player crew mode next. You could create a player or play as a real player. This cutscene for player crew mode was probably introduced in FIFA 23. I don't remember seeing this in FIFA 22. Ultimately, it doesn't really change the game too much, you know. They did change the menus for FIFA 23 player crew mode. So you had your stuff in the middle there, like some tiles, but all the menu stuff was at the bottom this time. The new thing for FIFA 23 was activities. So you could do things like greet your teammates, and it would affect different personality stuff. So you could have Maverick personality, Heartbeat personality, or Virtuoso personality. And then there's also the shopping stuff as well, but this is just to affect your personality and get some personality points. There was also investments you can do once you start earning a wage. Let's take a look at manager crew mode next. The big new feature was the ability to play as a real manager. You could choose from different managers in the game, but not every manager from every league was available. As you can see, there was only one from France, and he had a fake face anyway. Some English Premier League managers did have real faces. Even the Bundesliga only had one manager who also had a generic face. So yeah, it's a good feature, but it only is good if the managers have real faces. You don't want to be playing with these guys here with generic faces. It's not a good experience. You might as well just create your own guy instead. One manager that was featured in the rest of the world section was Ted Lasso. So you could use him in career mode as well as a manager. And you could also have AFC Richmond as a club in manager mode as well. In Create a Club in FIFA 23, you now had the option to customize a third kit. Once you selected a squad in Create a Club, you could also edit the individual players. So you could change the names, you could change their attributes, you could change their kit numbers. So it opened up a lot more customization, which was nice. FIFA 23 also lets you play 3-minute halves now. Manager mode did get an upgraded menu, so at the bottom you had your different tiles there, and in the middle was a bit of information. At the top was your tabs. It did feature a career mode homegrown talent pre-order bonus. You could see this guy was the homegrown talent. EA doesn't give you the homegrown talent anymore, of course. Playable highlights was a new feature in FIFA 23 career mode. I never use it. The tension meter was also brought in FIFA 23 career mode when you negotiate. FIFA 23 also brought in these transfer cutscenes. So when you signed a player, you would see this cutscene of them walking into the club. Another feature was the transfer analyst, which was also new at the time. It just tells you if you did a good job or a bad job when you signed a player. FIFA 23 had Volta Football, which is pretty much dead in FC 25. But because the servers are still running in FIFA 23, you can play Volta battles and all the other modes that are available online in this Volta feature. If you go to Kickoff and you go to Volta, you can play house rules or single match types. FIFA 23's Volta feels very quick, very slippery. I know EA did try and make the gameplay more arcadey as the years went on with Volta, and now I think the only thing left of it is 3v3 matches. But yeah, this one feels very skatey, very slippery. We are playing the World Cup DLC once again, Argentina versus France. As we look forward to the World Cup in 2026, I'll be definitely taking a look at all the old DLCs and games. Pretty much got the whole collection by now anyway, so can't believe the World Cup is another year away, give or take, you know? It's coming around quick once again. 4 years doesn't feel like a long time as you get older. Messi plays it through to Alvarez, who's through on goal here. Julian Alvarez got a score, has the shot, and it's a good save. Fernandez to Messi. Messi flicks it over the top and volleys it, and it's a good save again. What a goal that would have been. Let's whip it in here, Messi. And it's almost gone in. It's going to be a penalty anyway. I'm not sure what happened there. Was it a handball? Was it a foul? I'm not sure. It's probably one of those dodgy handball calls, but it's a great opportunity here for Messi. Can he score? Yes, he does. So let me know if you played FIFA 23. Let me know if you have any memories of this game. It has not been that long, so I'm sure a lot of you guys remember this, but it's definitely an end of an era game because there's no more FIFA games. This game is in a weird position now because it hasn't been that long since it came out, which means that we have a lot of the features still in present FC games. But it's also old enough now to notice a few changes, especially in the menus and in certain features, I guess. So it's in that weird spot now in time. Let's go over the top here. Messi for on goal. Messi, oh my goodness. What kind of shot was that? So there's only a few minutes left here, and it was nice to come back to FIFA 23. It's got all the latest stuff, the latest graphics, technology, all that kind of stuff. So feels pretty modern, nothing really wrong with it. The gameplay was pretty fun. World Cup DLC is always fun to play. Let me know what you think of FIFA 23. Thank you to the Vapex FC channel members, Chris, Callum, Wing, Duffy Boy, Christian, and Texas Transplant. If you want your name featured here at the end of each video, check out the link in the description and join the club. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like for me and make sure you subscribe to get more FC videos.